Good evening, everybody. You can't possibly be having as good an evening as we're having up here along the water. Okay, I guess you can. We're drinking New York State wine, overlooking a nice blue lake, sunset. No mosquitoes here. We're on Keuka Lake in upstate New York. In the Finger Lakes. Okay. Guess everybody can see the screen. Yep, the water's very refreshing. Got a perfect place where we're sitting here in front of the screens and still out, looking out through the doorways onto the lake. No, I think that is the way you spell Keuka Lake. Oh, mosquitoes. All right. Okay. No, it's refreshing. It's not too chilly. It's been a warm summer up here. Notice we were yesterday. What is today? Friday. When we closed above the closed candle, that was kind of a Methods Rising pattern, telling us that we're probably still in an uptrend. Notice what we did in the trend channel. The trend channel was here, and this last one we came down only halfway and started back up. That usually tells us we've got new juice to get us up through the top of the trend channel. Wasn't as convincing today in the Dow, but the NASDAQ gave us a good indication that they are now below. See if I can do this. Kind of below this little trend channel. Well, pshaw. So they've gapped up and now trading up above the this trend channel, or this latest trend channel. That could take us back up toward the top of the trend channel, which would equate to somewhere up in this area. So as long as the NASDAQ was up, even though the Dow was a little bit iffy on the close today, it still indicates that there's not been any change of investor sentiment, that the slow uptrend is still in progress. The S&P still trying to butt its head up through the top of the trend channel. So interest rates not doing anything that can be considered devastating. Crude oil seems like it's come back down to the 50, starting back up. It could come back up to the 200-day, but that still puts us down here below 100. There doesn't seem to be any great pressure in crude oil prices to the upside nor the downside, so that doesn't seem to be a factor. What else we got? Gold. Gold is still stuck in this sideways channel, and it may take quite a few weeks to break out of this. If it tests this level and fails, or it tests this level and fails, we're just going to kind of keep moving sideways. Silver's got somewhat the same indication that we're not going anywhere. We're still stuck in the sideways mode. Q's near the top of our regression channel. Shoot, I wouldn't know a regression channel. I get some weird channels late at night, but I don't know what Okay, let's see. What else do we want to take a look at? I've been short hogs here for the last few days. Ever since it broke back below the T-line. It's trading up a little bit after hours, but not going anywhere with any great hurry. And let me change these so we can see all the stochastics. a little bit better. Stochastics tells us we might still have a day or two to the downside. Cattle, not going anywhere in a hurry. Feeder cattle. Another one that I wouldn't really be until it figures out which way it wants to go here. Cotton. Cotton broke out nicely. Would be buying this one on positive trading. Some of the other grains. Corn has gone through wave one and now is either in a pennant to either break to the downside or break to the upside. Just have to keep an eye on it. Wheat kind of in this downward trend channel, but may be ready to break out through the upside. If it does, we might be in wave three. I guess it's still a function of how much rain are they getting up in the Midwest. Okay, I can't think of anything else. The dollar. Dollar not going anywhere in a hurry, but also might be in a kind of a trend channel on a slow uptrend. But that's another one that wouldn't, right now is not really giving any convincing direction. We did gold. Gold is kind of caught sideways here. What was the other one? Soybeans. Soybeans has popped up a little bit, but notice it's broken down with a kind of a spinning top gap down. If I was shorting soybeans, which now that I'm looking at it, I might put a stop right here below today's low. If it comes back down through there, that tells me that they've still got some downside. Western Kansas wheat farmers now dusting in new crop. Dusting in. What does dusting in mean, Garrison? Natural gas also in this slow upward trend channel, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't bring it back down to at least test the 50 to see if it holds up. But I think overall we're still fairly low in the natural gas price. So it looks like it's broken down, come up, tested the 50, but notice tested the 200. It might be caught in between the 50 or which way it wants to go. Okay. All right, we're going to just go through kind of a abbreviated session. Still got some good price movement here. BPI staying above the T line. Remember, it gapped up and it's staying above the T line. Yeah, that guy is talking. They can't shut the guy up. Jeez. Where is the new institution money going in the last few trading sessions? Oh, I'd have to do a little bit better search on that. We can do that. Oh, okay. All right. Planning before the rains. All right. I don't know what the results of the last crops were out of the wheat area. This one I would still be buying. That's that little stutter step. If they get this one moving, remember, there's still a gap to fill here, and then we got the 50 as the next target. ECYT was another one that has now broken from wave 2 or wave 1. Guess we better make this a little bit smaller. Came out of the fry pan bottom, wave 1, long wave 2, now broken out into when it broke through this level into wave 3. That one's still acting well. TPX, another one that is the, I'm going to have to figure out a name to even mock myself on times when you get out of a position, like when it came back through the T-line, it was time to get out. Now it's time to be back in. Now you've got that cup and handle, and notice where it's supporting, right where the T-line and the 50 are crossing. Stochastic's coming up. I think you're still got a good run coming out of this one. Oh, the guy is talking. Yeah, there was one time when we had some new folks on, and they forgot to turn their computer off after I got done late one night of the session. And they said they woke up early in the morning, or for some reason I was on late at night, and they came downstairs with a gun because they heard somebody talking, and they finally figured out it was still me. Yep. So, yeah, put your sell stop at the T-line on this one. If it comes back down through there, that's kind of ruined the uptrend. Also, like BONT, because it turned around right here on the 50. Here's another one where this is kind of your common, I've got to give this another name, common price movement. Is you come up through the 50, you move away from it, and you come right back to the 50. This makes for a perfect wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Now, the reason I show this on BONT is you can go back to the BONT chart, and more than once, I mean, quite often, I use BONT example of people buying and selling at the moving averages. It's just, I mean, there's been so many times where it's gone from one moving average to the next, produced a perfect sell signal, and then come right back down to the next moving average, produced a perfect buy signal. So this one currently did a doji today. I would definitely be buying this very aggressively on a positive open tomorrow for two reasons. It's moving further away, or it's going to be moving positive after a doji, number one. Number two, if it breaks through this downward trend channel, it's going higher into wave 3. Let's see. All right. Uh-oh, we're stuck here. There we go. Yeah, it's again. This is part of the differences of some of the charting services of where they're. Yeah, over here it's showing a bullish candle also, but it opened lower. So it's all depends on the feed that they get. So this is a good looking chart, still on TCNet. Not still, but also on TCNet. Okay, let's see. APKT. Come up through the T-lines from the belt hold area. So this is another one that if it opens positive, breaking this downward trend channel, from every indication that this was the bottom, that belt hold gap down, just keep in mind, where do most people sell? They sell, panic sell at the bottom, and that's usually a gap down in an oversold condition. Don, it's also that sometimes the feed from one charting service to another may just be minutes different for some reason, and a few minutes might show that it's a different price. All right, Sohu did a nice kicker signal up to the 50 today, which if it opens positive tomorrow, you've got two things going for it. Number one, that it's moving away from the 50 after a kicker signal. And number two, it's breaking this downward trend channel. So that one might be on the recommended list for tomorrow. That one also, you might take a look at the options, that if the next price move could be up here to the 50-day moving average, you might take a look at a 45-50 call spread. Oh, they had earnings? All right. So that's probably that gap up. Remember, a kicker signal is a definite change of investor sentiment. Usually that kicker signal is going to last for a good while. If somebody's got the option spreads up, see what the August 45-50 would be. Recently, we have seen the market take 2 tries to get breakout after a fry pan, like TPX. Looks like double fry pans have very high probability. I use a tight stop loss if I try to get to the first one. Okay. ECYT, would you buy now or expect profit taking? Oh boy, let's take a gander. I would think, that this breaking out, I don't care whether I'd be buying at 910 or 960, because I think if they've broken this out again, it could carry into the $11, $12, $13 range from here. August is too close. Oh, that is right. What is this? This is August 6th. When higher this month? What does the September spreads? On the 17th? What is today? The 6th. That might be 10 days away. So what's the September 45-50? Okay, FSLR. Whoops, there was something else that somebody asked about. August spread doesn't work. All right. 75 cents. All right. 85 cents for the September. That might be a decent one. 85 cents to turn into $5. Yeah, let's see. What was I doing? FLSR. This one might just now be breaking out into new territory. Rounding bottom, gap up. Now, the nice thing about a gap up is, as you can see, with the candlestick signals, we can tell when the bulls are there, when the profit taking is there. And then today, they told us the profit taking was over. With a gap up through this level, there's a gap up here. There's a gap up here. This one could have a good strong run to it. Yelp. Yeah, Yelp. Here's kind of is that a, and we're starting off pretty strong. This one probably has some more upside to it. EZCH. Humbug. S.EZCH. All right, J-hook pattern. Doji, gap up. Coming up through the recent high. Stochastic's coming up. Now, if this is a J-hook pattern confirming, we know where wave 3 should go. Somewhere up in here, same equivalent to wave 1. If wave 3 goes up to here, that means it's breaking out through this level right here. That once it breaks out, it could have a good, strong price move. All right. Thank you. FSLR was a gap on earnings. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay. All right. RV BH. Going kind of slow because I don't have a light here on the desk because I'm having a hard time reading my own writing in the dark. No, I don't have that excuse. Somebody turn the light on. Thank you. Okay, J-hook pattern right off the T line. Where do you think the next target is? Right up here at the 200. If it gets to the 200, it's still in no man's land because there's a gap up to fill over here. I don't drink wine. I've never been under the affluence of alcohol in my life, Ossifer. Let's see. This one I like. There's that cradle pattern, GMCR. Yeah, where's the candlesticks here? If this opens positive tomorrow, you definitely want to be a buyer. This is kind of your cradle type pattern. That's right. I don't tell tales. NTSP. There's a belt hold, a severe belt hold. Profit taking stopped. If this one trades higher, you want to be buying it. It might be wave 1, wave 2, starting into wave 3. And KOG, I think KOG had a very nice chart. Another belt hold. Doji, gap up. No, this wasn't a belt hold. What is this when you have a down candle, a doji, and then a positive candle? Yep, derivative kicker or what we call a flutter kicker. So if you took out this doji, you'd have a kicker signal. This one, you definitely want to be buying on positive trading tomorrow. That's right, Betsy. Watch your initials there. Another J-hook pattern on SSRI. Let's make this big enough where we can see it. Yeah, if silver's strong tomorrow and this opens positive, there's our doji. This is what we call a doji sandwich. You got a bullish candle, a doji. We know it's going to move in the direction of how they open it. And if they open it positive, it's usually the same magnitude as that first candle. Now, if they open up positive, they're breaking out through this level, making the next target the 200-day moving average. TIE hasn't been in the in here for a while, but notice the fry pan bottom, and now they're breaking it out to the upside. Good possibility they're going to take it right up to the 200. Click. Whoops. Click. Gap up. Profit taking right back to the 200. Now the profit taking's over. Remember, these gap ups are telling you there's a lot of force in this. I would suspect we're heading up to test the recent highs. Fry pan J-hook, what is my best entry signal? Positive. JDSU, J-hook pattern. Broke through this level. I'd be buying on positive trading with, again, the target being the 200-day moving average. The fact that they came up, I mean, this is another common price move. Comes right up to the 50-day moving average, fail. Does a little indecisive trading right at the 20 and the T line. Comes through the second time. That means they're going up higher. Since TIE is so high off the T line, would you buy it in anticipation of higher prices or wait for the retracement to the T line? Oh, boy. In this case, you're starting to see gap ups coming out of a fry pan bottom. That tells me the force is starting to to show up, and that's where you want to be buying a fry pan bottom, is when that force is showing up. So this is another case where I think this one could go up into the $15 area, topping out at the recent high. So it doesn't matter whether I buy it here or here or here. It's just telling me that the gap ups out of this fry pan bottom is going to probably take us much higher. Thank you. Yeah, that's another way to do it, is once you buy it, use your 5 and 10 minute chart. Where would you put your stop? Ooh, let's see. At this point, since we're getting near the high, I wouldn't want to see it trade at all back below the low of this candle. If it opened higher, whoops, and was able to come back down through here, that tells me the sellers have gotten too much control. That would tell me they're probably coming back to test the T line. VDSI. This is the force that told you there's lots of power. Came back, did some consolidation. Now you have that little kicker type signal taking you back up. If this opens positive, I would suspect we're coming up here as wave 3, this being wave 1. NKTR, right off the 50-day moving average. You got a left-right combo. Remember, when they gap it down in an oversold condition, that usually tells you need to start looking for a buy signal. When they do that right on the major support, this makes for a very strong buy, especially if they open up positive tomorrow. Tells us the T-line's not acting as resistance. We should be in the next wave to the upside. And ALJ. Another one. Where would you buy this? I'd rather buy it here than here, because here we're in the overbought condition. Here we've gone through a J-hook pattern telling us that we probably have more upside. PWE. Yeah, that's a good looking chart also. It just needs to break this resistance level. But it's a nice fry pan bottom. So that's good looking. If market opens lower tomorrow and stocks open lower too, do we just sit or take profits? Oh, Martin, no, we'll have to go back to that. I'll get back to the, I'll forget. Let's see. Yeah, if the market pulls back, yeah, take some profits if you got some good ones. But expect it's going to come back to test the T-line. All right. ISIS is one that we made very good money with, owning it all the way up. Now it's pulled back to where? Right there to the 50-day moving average. And did a morning star type signal and gapped up today. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this with the anticipation that if this has moved 7 points from here, 7 points from here takes us up into the $19 range. Yes. No, there aren't any bad profits. QLIK, another J-hook pattern that broke through. I would anticipate they're taking this up to the 200-day moving average. Remember, this is a nice little stutter step. They take it up, pull it back, and then take it up again. That means this time they're getting the bears out of the way. Let's see, what did I write there? Mercy sakes. What is that? HCIC? HEIC? Bah, humbug. I don't know. I don't, you don't need it. HC. Can't even read my own handwriting. So we're going to go into the next one. SPRD. Nice little fry pan bottom breakout. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. And NGD, another fry pan bottom using the 50 as support. We're right here at the breakout level. If it opens positive, you definitely want to be a buyer. Notice how we did a little kicker type signal today. Today's trading came right back down and used the T-line again as support and took it back up, which means they're probably going to take this higher. And if they do, they're breaking out through this range. Got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. Looks like we could move up into the $12.50, $13 area. And Select Comfort also. Gap up, little rounding bottom, starting back up. If this breaks out through this level, anticipating it could be a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 coming up into this area. VELT. Right here, nice breakout through this lower. Notice how it kind of gapped through this level. Now we're right at the 50. If it breaks through the 50, it looks like we got enough juice to get us up into the 200 moving average area. And INFA. Let's see, there was a reason, but I guess if this breaks out, we're at least to the 50 and then possibly back up eventually to the 200. When you see a gap down in an oversold area, start looking for the buy. There's a kind of a rule of thumb that somewhere between 4 to 16 weeks, this will come back up and fill the gap. So for the longer term hold, going from 32 to 42, 10 points, that's about a 22% return in a 3-month period. Even for a longer term hold, you do that 3 or 4 times a year, it starts compounding. And there's some more here. KND. Another one that's bounced off the 50, now coming back up to 200. If it opens positive, it's breaking through. Look for a power run off of that one. MXWL. Nice rounding bottom, and now we're starting to come out the other side. This one you can be buying on positive trading and use the T-line as your stop. I think somebody was mentioning that one in the chat room today. Oh, I thought you were trying to hit me in the side of the head. Racks, whoops. A breakout. You can pretty much draw your trend line right across the top here. Whoops, possibly. Bottom of your trend line right across the bottoms here. And now they've broken out to the upside. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one. Another one that I'd probably look at buying the 50, 55 call spreads. If we're too close for August, look at the September call spread on that one. Belt hold bullish engulfing. Another one where you're sitting, sitting right here at this trend breakout area. If this opens positive, you'd expect another good hefty move coming off of here. And BGC. BGC, I must have had some reason. Looks like a kind of a little kicker type signal coming off the bottom of the trend channel. For some reason, that looked a lot more attractive when I looked at it on TCNet. So Guess I shouldn't be drinking this early in the evening. Belt hold, confirmation. I wouldn't be afraid to be buying this one at all. First target up here, obviously, to the 200. I think there's probably enough juice to get this really running. But remember, what happens to the trajectory of a belt hold is this basically sopped up all the sellers. Now the sellers are out of the way. So you've got a flat trading area with no sellers anymore. That usually means the trajectory is usually fairly strong. All right, thank you. Rax on earnings tomorrow. Let's see. Mid-price $1.70 on the rack spread. Be careful. Wide bid and ask on it. All right, thank you. What did I just do? AREX. Another doji gap up through the T line. Let's expect a bounce. Oh, we had some people asking about how you set up your Fibonacci numbers. Usually the way I do it is I find out what the highest price is, click it there, bring it down here to the lowest price, pick the retracements, either the 38%, the 50%, or the 62%. So you got targets to watch to see where it could move to other than just the moving averages. But usually that will give you a good bounce. Now some people say they want to use the close or the open. Doesn't really matter, because what we're looking for is where is the sell signal occurring in approximately what area. All right. Let's see, TEX. Kicker signal, wave 1. Consolidation right here at the breakout area. Now we've got that little flutter kicker starting wave 3. If this opens positive, I think you could get a good 20% move on this over the next few days. No, these are not Elliott waves. I usually use only 3 waves. Everything moves in wave patterns. And I'm not going to hold on to it long enough to worry about wave 4, 5, ABC retracement. Everything kind of moves in waves. They usually move up, maybe move sideways for wave 2, and then move wave 3. Once that is over with, then I start counting again. This is maybe wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. So just using the wave count just to see what my next move will be. If this is wave 1, wave 3 should be got the same equivalence up to this area. Okay. All right, that's just about all I've got for tonight. Do we have any questions on candlesticks? No questions. If we open lower, okay. Yeah, if this market opens lower tomorrow, obviously after the doji, it's going to come back and probably test the T line. Except the offset to that is the fact that the NASDAQ is still heading up with stochastics, and we broke through this channel and they're gapping it up to get there, tells me there's probably still a lot more upside coming out of this little rounding bottom. So I don't know whether there'd be any real say what? Okay. But I'm expecting that we're probably going to see more upside to this. Which of your 3 books? Read High Profit Candlestick Patterns first. You ever look at the Aussie Japan cross to carry trade indicator? Nah. No. Everything I look at is right here on this chart. Because everything you want to know is built right into the candles. Everybody, if you just go back to the very simple statement that the cumulative knowledge of everybody buying and selling at any given time is right there on the chart doing a formation. Didn't phrase earlier question properly. J hooks and fry pans. At what point in patterns do you take trade? Cross T-line. Oh. At some like this one that's kind of sloppy, like the, no, that's not the one. What one did we have that looked fairly good? MXWL. All right, this is kind of a fry pan bottom. A lot of times a fry pan bottom is going to be so junky that you really don't know where to get in, except at the point where the fry pan bottom started. So this one has broken out. I wouldn't have bought it any real earlier, maybe a day earlier, but now we've got the Morningstar signal that did the T-line crunch. A lot of times I'll buy the fry pan just as it's breaking out. Now there's other times, I'm trying to think of which ones they are, that when you can see the fry pan starting, and I'm trying to find one. I don't know what that is. Let's say you saw this setting up. There might be times where you start buying knowing that you're heading into the fry pan bottom or a fry pan bottom breakout. This is a bad example. But there will be times where you can see the fry pan bottom coming up and it's got a good enough return to get up to the point where it's supposed to break out, that if it doesn't, you still made a good 6, 8, 10%. Or you can wait until it does break out. Remember, the fry pan bottom is a buildup of investor sentiment. And when it gets up to the exuberant point where it's in the overbought area, that's usually when they start buying. No, hold on. The lower vacation volume affects your patterns. No. Remember, the prices are the accumulative knowledge of everybody buying and selling during a certain time frame. So it's the people that are still around that are making those decisions. You're not worried about the people that aren't there making decisions. You have good audio but no charts. Oh, Sharon, I hope somebody can help you with that. Yeah, log off and come back in. Where do your website do you have the definitions like Kicker? If you go to our left-hand column, there should be an area that says signal definitions, and it will show you the patterns and describe them all. Do you prefer a fry pan or a cradle for a larger move? That's one isn't any better than the other. It's when you see them set up that sometimes you'll see a fry pan bottom setting up. Sometimes you'll see cradle pattern setting up. They're both effective. I asked you about correlations with volume during chats, and you said you don't factor into volume. But I'm reading your third book on emotions and trading. Now, and it seems that each major signal has volume on the charts, and you make a reference to the importance of volume. So when do you find volume to be the most important in your assessment of the stock? When at the time that you see a reversal, or the day of, or day after, or day before, or day after, if you see a volume spike, that's just added fluff that you know that the weak is sold into the strong, or the strong is bought from the weak. So if you see a volume spike, you just know that there's been a lot of change of hands, usually at the reversal. But as far as volume, a lot of people say, oh, I want to see the volume go up as the price goes up. Volume and price have absolutely nothing to do with each other. If you want to buy a stock that seems great to you and nobody's willing to sell it to you, you're going to pay up in price, and that price might go up on lower volume just because there's no stock available. So volume, yeah, it's an added fluff if you see big volume at the reversals. Okay, what time we have? 7:45, 8:45. All right, we'll do the double line, but probably only for about 15 minutes. So I'll try to get done as many as I can. Okay. Yes, the lake is very enjoyable up here. The weather today was absolutely perfect. Bright, sunny, no clouds. Well, there was some clouds earlier, but this evening there was no clouds in the sky. The water was just dead still. WPRT, buy it back. If you sold it out, now you want to be back in it, especially if it opens positive tomorrow after the doji, which does two things. It's going to open positive after the doji, number one, and if it goes positive after a doji, if it breaks out through this area, it's still in a good uptrend. And CE, another one that you continue to hold as long as it stays above the T line. Yep, I'll see you Wednesday, Savvy. Netflix. All right, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim, again for recording tonight. Netflix, I would be long-term short, short-term possibility of it seeing a pop. If it comes up through the T line, if you're short, you want to close out the positions. HK. Here's one that you don't have a reversal signal. You have bullish uptrend, but no reversal signal, which to me tells me at the first resistance levels, you watch to see if there's a sell signal. So if I have a druthers of buying an uptrending stock that has a reversal signal or not a reversal signal, I'm going to go with a reversal signal only because the Japanese race traders have spent hundreds of years telling us which ones have effective reversals. The ones that don't have any Japanese recognition means that they don't really do anything for us. CLF, this one you continue to hold as long as it stays above the T line. Citicorp, another one that has just broken out through this level. I would suspect at least the first target being the 200, but then watch out to see if your stochastics don't fizzle out at that point. FCX. FCX needs to have a positive open to kind of break it out of this little trend area, but yeah, it needs more upside. It's still caught in a junky area. It needs something to tell us it's out of here. Kind of a little scoop pattern. This one you can be buying on positive trading tomorrow after the kind of the Morningstar signal. Then you want to close it out if it closes back below the T line. GNOM. This one you can be buying also if it opens positive. After the bullish Harami coming up through the 50, if it comes up through the T line, suspect your next target is going to be the 200. And if it gets up there, watch to see a second time if it doesn't go through. VRNG, bullish Harami tells us the selling is stopped. Now we're back up above the T line. You can buy this and use the T line as your stop. Hog. That's heating oil. Wow. Had the big hammer signal. Bullish confirmation. It needs to get above the T line to go after it. Right now, it's still resisting at the T line. Baidu just now gapped up in the overbought area, just got through the 200, but this is your warning that you gapped up. If this opens lower tomorrow, you probably want to take profits and wait until the T line catches up. To stay in it, you have to see it open positive and trade positive, and you don't want to see it come back down through the T line. CTSH, gap up out of the resistance level, very easy. If it opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying it and use today's low as your stop. IBM, another one that's in a slow, steady uptrend. You continue to hold as long as you don't see a sell signal and a close below the T line. AG, nice little J hook. You can buy this on positive trading tomorrow. SINA, another one that if it opens positive, it needs to get up to kind of have a little kicker signal. It needs to get through the 50. And it needs to see strength getting through there. ARO, this one you're probably going to see more downside yet. There's nothing yet to show any buyers have stepped in. HNT, failed at the T line. This one stays short until you see a buy signal. S.NE, you can stay long on this one as long as you don't see any sell signal and the close below the T line. I think that was poor English. Don't want to see no sell signal here. AKAM, this one is doing a J hook. This one you definitely want to buy on positive trading tomorrow. Again, because you have a doji that if it opens positive, it's going to move in a positive direction, which means it'd be breaking out through here, starting your next wave of a T line, or T line. Next wave of a J hook. IRBT needs a strong positive open to get it back into kind of a J hook phase. And we did WPRT. This one you can be buying back, especially after a doji today. Let's see, S.CLF. This one you stay long as it stays above the T line right now. And LQDT. Might be starting up, but that's kind of a junky alert. I'd want to see something that was easier to assess. STZ, a doji. If it opens positive, it's breaking out of this little fry pan bottom. That one you can be buying. WYNN, another little fry pan bottom, but you definitely want to see this get up through the 50 very quickly. If it does, now you've got a good chance of it popping up to the 200. AMX. I don't know what that is. AMX. This one looks solid lower tomorrow. You want to be shorting it. And Starbucks. Starbucks, you stay short until you see a buy signal. But you'd be a little bit more cautious. You're in the oversold area. But until you see a buy signal, stay short. TCAP. This one isn't really exciting either. It's trying to do a rounding bottom, but doesn't have that magnitude of returns that's really all that great. If I had money in it, I'd be out of it and moving on to something that was a little bit more exciting. Cheesecake. You've got some sell signals here. If this opens lower tomorrow, you want to be shorting it. It has to stay above the T line to stay in it. TiVo. Oh, that's a nice fry pan bottom. Now, this is a case where if you it's starting right about where the fry pan bottom started. If you see this open positive, that's where you want to start buying it. Now, if you saw this setting up like this and coming through the 50, you could be buying here with the anticipation that it's got to get up to and out, which might be a good 6, 8, 10% before the breakout. But if it fails, you come out, you make a small profit. If it goes through, then you know you've got a good profit run to it. LSI, another J hook. Knows how it's bounced up off the T line and kind of crunched itself back up through. This one, if it opens positive tomorrow, you can be buying it. Nice big bullish engulfing signal. One of the things that you want to keep in mind about candlesticks is the bigger the signal, the higher the probability you're going to be heading up. You've got a bullish engulfing signal. It looks like it's coming off a cradle pattern. I would definitely be buying this on positive open tomorrow. I'm going to put a little star next to that one. We like the cradle patterns because they usually have some significant force behind it that's telling us we're going to be in the right direction, like we saw on PCYC. Continue to hold this one until you see a sell signal, but I would suspect this one's going to be in an uptrend into wave 3. APC, S.APC. Oh, APC is still in a slow downtrend. I wouldn't be long. I'd probably be more apt to be short on this one. That's just not a good looking chart. U.S. Steel. Continue to hold this one until you see a sell signal. That's a nice looking chart. However, your stochastics are getting toward the overbought area, which means if you start getting near the 200 and it fizzles, there's probably going to be some profit taking there. Boyle, you're right back down to the 50 with a little bullish candle. If this opens positive, I wouldn't be buying it yet until I saw it definitely come back up through the T lines. BONT, this one is definitely a buy tomorrow on positive trading. On this, as we saw, and this chart was a doji. On the other chart is a little bit more of a bullish candle. I don't think we do Netflix short just yet, but if you're short, stay short until you see I better do it. If it opens positive and trades above the T line, cover your short positions. But I still think in the long run, this is still in a major downtrend. But one thing you want to learn about candlestick analysis is whatever I think does not mean a hill of beans. It's what the charts tell you. Juniper, J-hook pattern. Anticipate this going probably to the 200. GDX. Whoops. S.GDX. Nice little J-hook. You can buy this on positive trading. Just make sure it gets through the 50 because that means that it's broken this downtrending channel. ABT. This one is not very exciting. I mean, if you're holding it long term, you stay in it as long as it stays above the T line. But if I was trading this, this is a yawner. I wouldn't be long or short this one. And Corning, as long as it stays below the T line, you want to stay short. This one has to get up above the T line. Today, it's twice in the last couple of days it's failed to get through the T line. GFA. Here's a nice fry pan bottom breakout. If it's got good with a doji. So if it opens positive tomorrow, you're breaking out with some gap ups. I would just think you're going to go right up to the 200-day moving average. All right, just a few more. I like this one. This one might have, you might see this one in recommended for tomorrow. This one I would definitely be buying on positive trading. Let's see, Caterpillar. Slow rounding bottom. This one you can be buying with the anticipation of it coming out of the slow rounding bottom here pretty soon. SLV, still relatively flat. I think there's better things to be trading. G has a double doji. If this opens positive tomorrow, you buy immediately because your double doji means if it opens positive, the bulls have won, and they'll probably have another candle the same magnitude as this one. So it's a good day trade, number one. And number two, you're coming off a kicker signal, which means there's still probably some more upside left in this one. SSYS, this one, all you can do is stay long until you see a sell signal. AGQ. AGQ's got to get out of its own way here. It's stuck underneath the 50. Maybe it's not stuck. Maybe I'm got the screen too flat. It needs to break through this downtrending channel. Now you got a little pennant formation setting up, but I'd rather pay $41 for it, knowing that it broke to the upside. Let's see. Did we do GLD? That's too sloppy. That's caught in the middle of the trend channel. OREX. This one, you can stay short until you see a buy signal, and it's not there yet. And ARO for a short. Yeah, you can stay short on this one. If I would use probably this point right here as my stop, because that would be the halfway point of the that last bearish candle. I wouldn't want to see it trade back up in that direction. Let's see, how many more do we got here? All right, we'll finish. We're a little bit over time. But I know you all have traveled far and wide to be here tonight. So we'll finish it out. Another little J-hook pattern. If it opens positive, you can be buying this one. Just don't let it come back down through the T line. AutoZone. This one you stay short until you see a buy signal. And Cena, did we do Cena? Cena's got that little kicker signal, needs to get up through the 50. All right, we got MUX. MUX can be bought, depending on, that looks like a nice little fry pan bottom, just about ready to break out. GSS, another nice little breakout. Well, these are pretty good. Take a look at GSS. And ANV. Okay, yeah, thank you, Hog. These are good looking charts. ANV, I would be buying this one on positive trading tomorrow. They were good ones. That audience participation, yes. Yeah. I decided I'm going to hire an audience, like a studio audience. Yeah, see that just is thrilling. That's right. I canned laughter. Yeah, I'll have canned laughter. INCY. This one you stay short until you see a buy signal. And okay, NIHD pre-market earnings. Okay. All right. Thank you. And low Ross B. All right. Okay. That's right. Cheers only when the positions are sold for a profit. Yeah, have some buttons like Kramer. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. Tomorrow, you're going to see some profit taking, but the strength was seen in the NASDAQ today. So it wasn't like they were rolling this market over just yet. I think we still have some more upside. So with that, we will be watching what all you say in the chat room tomorrow. So everybody be good. You all look good in your bathing suits tonight. So some of you need a little bit better tan, though. We'll see you all tomorrow in the chat room. Thank you.